This bill, again, Your Excellency, was introduced following the approval of the estimates for the financial year 2025-2026. It was introduced by the distinguished member for Alego Usonga once again. He's the chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. Your Excellency, this bill largely speaks to the policies of the national government with respect to the financing of various sectors. Your Excellency, there is new money for certain sectors which wasn't there before, including, I think, 10.2 billion for agriculture value chain development projects. There is 1.5 billion for sugar sector reform. There is new injection of 8 billion for support for fertilizer subsidy. There is 4 billion for coffee debt waiver, Your Excellency. And also the health sector is amongst the biggest gainers this time. 17.3 billion, Your Excellency, is going to Global Fund for HIV, malaria, and TB. There is 13.1 billion, Your Excellency, which goes to primary health care, and 8 billion for emergency, chronic, and critical illness fund. UHC healthcare workers are going to get 6.2 billion for transfer of their payrolls to counties, Your Excellency. Doctors, and there is 1.3 billion for the construction and equipping of cancer centers across specified counties. The education sector, Your Excellency, also gets a good share of 658.4 billion, 387 of which is going to teacher resource management, including their remuneration, promotion, and recruitment of intern teachers. 58.9 billion, Your Excellency, goes to free primary and day secondary education, while 29 billion is for junior secondary school funding. The university funding, Your Excellency, gets 41.5 billion in the next financial year, while the national examinations and assessment and the school feeding program get 6 billion and 3 billion each. The digital superhighway and creative economic sector have not been left behind. They have been allocated 13 billion to support the growth of the innovation and creative sectors. 217 billion, Your Excellency, has been allocated for construction, maintenance, and rehabilitation of roads in the financial year 2025-2026, while 63 billion has been allocated to support reliable power supply by our energy sector players. Excellency, in the next financial year, our TVETs have also been given 7.7 billion for scholarships and capitation.
The third bill to receive your assent will be the Finance Bill 2025, National Assembly Bill number 19 of 2025. The bill honors Your Excellency's commitment to the nation that there will be no new taxes in this financial year. The bill sets out fiscal interventions designed to enhance the business environment and reform the tax regime, making Kenya a more competitive nation to invest in. Among the seminal legislative proposals carried in the bill include the prioritization of the Kenyan worker within the fiscal framework through proposed amendments to the Income Tax Act, mandating the automatic application of employee tax reliefs and exemptions. In addition, the bill proposes the exemption of gratuity payments and pension scheme allowances from taxation. Amendments under the Value-Added Tax Act include exemptions on mosquito repellent inputs and the local packaging of tea, measures intended to strengthen both the manufacturing and agricultural sectors.
Excellency, the last bill for the day is the Finance Bill 2025, which was introduced in the House following his submission in draft form by the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury on 31st of April, as required by the PFM Act. It is introduced in the name of the distinguished member for Molo constituency, Your Excellency. The bill, upon being published, went through extensive public participation throughout the country We also used modern technology this time, using apps. The bill was considered, taking into account the views of the public, and passed by the National Assembly. Last week, on 19th, the bill is proposing amendments to various laws relating to taxes, including the Income Tax, the Excise Duty Act, the Value Added Tax, the Tax Procedures Act, Miscellaneous Fees and Levies Act, and the Stamp Duty Act. There is seldom any new taxation measures being introduced, Your Excellency, other than some few areas which largely came from the National Treasury or others that came through the public participation process. One of the key winners is the general public when it comes to the incentives to promote telecommunication sector, because after public participation, the telecommunication industry asked the committee to ensure that investment allowance deduction for purchase of spectrum license or a right of fiber optic issued by a telco operator is one of the exemptions granted.